Welcome everyone to the NCL Recruiter Pitch Day event. I'm Emily Calandranis, the Director of Development and Partnerships on behalf of the National Cyber League, and we're so excited to have you join us. The mission of the NCL is to bridge curriculum to careers, supporting our community with resources to help students begin their cybersecurity careers. We're thrilled to have so many of you join us today to learn about exciting opportunities with our wonderful partners and take those next steps towards the cyber role of your dreams. Please note that this session will be recorded and will be available on LinkedIn and the Cyber Skyline YouTube channel. We encourage you to share with others in your circle and connect with the presenters post-event. We do have some last-minute updates to today's presenter lineup, but we do have 4 incredible companies that will be sharing about open entry-level roles and internship opportunities, as well as sharing about company culture and community. Please keep in mind that not every organization will be a one-size-fits-all. Be open to the opportunities that are being shared, and even if there aren't any roles that pertain to you right now, use this event to network and grow your connections. Each presenter will have about 10 minutes to share, and representatives will be popping into the chat to connect with the audience. Throughout the entire event, there is a chat box available where you can ask questions and interact with the presenters as well. We'll be identifying a handful of questions to present live towards the end of the hour, and we ask that everyone be respectful and kind when utilizing the chat, and make sure that you are sharing questions that you find to be very important to your journey for internships and entry-level roles. Lastly, we encourage you to network and connect with other attendees by using the channel LinkedIn Share on the Discord for the NCL. Instead of dropping your links into the chat, this is a great way for you to use the NCL Discord to be able to not only share your LinkedIn profile links, but also to introduce yourself to others within the NCL community. So once again, that channel is going to be the hashtag LinkedIn Share on the Discord. Okay, so that's all the housekeeping. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a moment. Our awesome presenters, some of you have grown to know and love, and we're so excited to have so many return to share with the NCL community. We are first going to be hearing from Bella from Tanium. Then Tom is going to share about PG&E opportunities. Melanie will be sharing for CrowdStrike, and we also have Carrie from Mastercard, who will be sharing in just a few moments. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Bella, and we're going to bring her up on stage. And we're going to go ahead and get your deck up as well.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Emily. Can you
take it away, Bella? Yep, you're great.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Emily. And thanks, everyone, for having me today. I'm super excited to talk to you a little bit about Tanium and specifically our early career and internship opportunities. So let's dive right in. We can go to the next slide. Let's talk about why a company like Tanium even exists in the first place, right? We were started to solve a problem, and that problem was an explosion of endpoints. So before I dive in, let's define kind of what endpoints are, right? Basically any device that can be managed. So as I look around at our Bay Area, California office right now, I see dozens of endpoints, right? I see phones, I see computers, phones of other people, laptops of other people, servers, etc. And there's been an explosion of endpoints over the past several years for a bunch of reasons you can probably guess. One, there are more endpoints than ever before. Back in the day, right, you came into the office, you just had your desktop. Now there are more devices per person than there used to be. Each person has got a phone, maybe also a work phone, also their laptop, etc. In addition to more endpoints, those endpoints are more spread out than they've ever been, especially with the rise of remote work, right? Again, back in the day, you would come into the office, your endpoints kind of stayed in that physical building, but now your phone is with you at all times. Often you're carrying your work laptop back and forth between your house, the coffee shop where you work, and the office. So we've got more endpoints, they're more widespread than ever, which means that they're a little bit more vulnerable to attacks, right? So we can go to the next slide. Our kind of main philosophy and the problem that we're solving for is that you cannot protect what you cannot see, right? We often tell a story where if you're to ask a CIO, a Chief Information Officer, or a CISO, a Chief Information and Security Officer of a Fortune 500 company, if you were to sit down with them and you were to say, how many endpoints do you manage at your company? They often will give you an answer that's like, oh, I think it's somewhere between 100,000 and 120,000 endpoints, which is kind of wild, right? If you don't even know how many endpoints you have, they're definitely not very secure. So that's where Tanium comes in. We can hop to the next slide. Our vision, pretty simply put, is to provide certainty in uncertain times. Our platform, our technology gives you real-time access to your endpoints. If you have Tanium running on your devices and you ask how many endpoints are out there or what is going on my endpoints, what softwares do they have on them? Tanium is going to tell you in seconds, right? Not in days or weeks or even hours, in seconds. It'll tell you what's happening. And we can do that at scale, right? We don't slow down with the more endpoints you have. We scale with your organization. And we do that with intelligent automation, which brings me to my next slide that we can hop over to. So Tanium, at its core, its platform helps you see your endpoints in real time. That's already pretty groundbreaking, and it's the foundation upon which basically everything else is built. You can kind of see that on this slide. On top of that, we have modules, right? So these are kind of like bundled capabilities. So you can do things like check if you're compliant with regulations. You can respond to incidents. You can manage those endpoints, etc. Recently, we also incorporated, the biggest buzzword in the industry right now, which is AI, right? We launched autonomous endpoint management 2 years ago. And I'll give you an example of why AI and our technology paired together so well. This is an example our Chief Technology Officer, Matt Quinn, often gives. So let's say you're in a self-driving car, right? And you tell this self-driving car, please take me from point A to point B using AI. That ride, that trip is only going to be as successful as the data that it has. If that data is old or stale or incorrect, then you might go down a road that's closed for construction. You might head onto a freeway where there is an accident that you didn't know, and now that slows you way down. You might hit a pedestrian that's jaywalking in an unexpected way, right? Your journey is only as safe and only as effective as the data that it has. It needs real-time data in order to be successful. And the same thing goes for anything that you're using AI for, including to manage your IT and security environment, right? If you want to automate functions within your IT or your security environment on your devices as a huge company, the first and the most important thing that you need is real-time data on your devices. And you probably get the point by now, but that is what Tanium helps provide. So we can go to the next slide. Every company during a talk like this is going to say that their technology is important or what they're selling is important. But I think our customers really speak for themselves. We're looking at over 34 million enterprise endpoints that we manage. 8 out of the 10 of the top United States financial institutions, 7 out of 10 of the top global retailers, right? These are big, important organizations that make up the backbone of our global economy and society. I'll touch on just one of these. Odds are on this call right now, the bank that you trust to protect your money trusts Tanium to protect and secure their endpoint environments, right? So that's pretty cool and pretty important. We can hop to the next slide. So that's a little bit about Tanium, about our technology, about what we do for those of you that maybe hadn't heard of us before. But let's talk about how you can get involved if this sounds like something that you would be interested in. So we're hiring over 60 interns in the United States this summer across our core offices, which are in Addison, Texas, the Dallas, Texas area, Durham, North Carolina, and Bay Area, California, which is where I'm calling from today. When I built this internship program 6 years ago, we had a really core key goal of the program, which is very simple. We wanted to build a pipeline of diverse future leaders at Tanium, which means my goal of the program every year is to convert high-performing interns into the full-time position. That's the main reason why our internship program exists. And we've had pretty good success with that, right? If we look at last year, we converted over 70% of interns into the full-time role. This year, 74% have been converted into the full-time role. And so far this year, we haven't heard back from 100% of folks yet, but so far this year, we've got a 99% offer acceptance rate. So we've got a lot of success in this program. Because the goal is to convert interns into the full-time role, we've really structured our program to give interns exposure to what the full-time role looks like. I'll talk about that a little bit on the next slide, but and we've also tried to make it competitive, right? So we've got good pay rates. We offer a one-time housing stipend, which is a one-time payment that you get on your first paycheck that's there to kind of help support the cost of living over the summer. We provide 401k matching. We reimburse for your Wi-Fi and phone bills. We've got a hybrid work policy, which means 3 days a week you come into our office, and the other 2 days a week you're welcome to work from home, or you can come into the office all 5 days if you prefer. And our offices, of course, are stocked with, a lunch service, food, snacks, a free gym, all that good stuff, all those great amenities to make it an enjoyable place for you to work. So let's talk a little bit about what you would do as an intern. We can move to the next slide. We're hiring across a bunch of different areas: software engineering, sales development. We even hire for finance and HR, kind of all across marketing, all across the business. But the one I'm here to really talk to you about today is our customer organization internship program. I think that that's going to be the most relevant to you all on this call. So first, let me start by saying, what is our support center? Our support center is kind of the first line of support when a customer needs something. So if a customer runs into an issue with our technology, they need help with something, they're going to get on the phone, they're going to call our global support center. Our support center then needs to be experts in our technology. We provide a really robust training, of course, to make sure that you're set up for that. You need to have a pretty good technical background, and we look for a great customer service sort of mindset, since you're going to be talking to our customers as that first line of defense, their first impression of us. So that's the support center. What will you do as an intern? Again, we've tried to make this as close to the full-time role as possible. So we do an abbreviated 4-week training on our technology, so you can kind of get up to speed on how it works, how to use it, how to troubleshoot it. Then you will shadow customer calls. You'll do some projects that are directly contributing towards our customers. You'll also have the opportunity to get Tanium certified. So this is a great opportunity, regardless of if you get a full-time offer or not. You'll walk out of this internship with some great experience on your resume and some tangible industry certification. So that's a little bit about what you do as an intern. What do we look for? We've got very particular graduation dates that we're looking for here. So we're looking for folks that are graduating December 2026 or spring 2027. If you have already graduated and you're looking for regular full-time opportunities, you can check out our careers page. We sometimes hire for that associate technical support engineer, which is that entry-level role there. We look for, a high GPA. We want to see folks that have a little bit of a technical background, whether that means you're studying computer networking, information science, cybersecurity, even a computer science background can work really well here. And previous work experience. We've seen in this last cohort that we just hired from folks that worked at Best Buy, that worked at Apple Genius Bar, that worked, sort of those sorts of customer service oriented support roles we find do really, really well at Tanium. Okay, we can go to the next slide. I think this might be my last slide. Okay, it is. Here's how you can keep in touch with us. I'm going to pop into the chat after this and answer questions as best as I can if you have any. But here's a couple of ways. This first QR code you can scan to apply to our summer 2026 intern openings. We are in the midst of recruiting right now. We've already got folks in the pipeline. So I encourage you to apply ASAP if that's something that you're interested in. The code on the right, that's one that you can just scan to keep in touch with Tanium. Maybe you're not the right graduation date. Maybe you're interested in roles next year, maybe next summer, whatever the case may be. That's a great form that you can fill out, and we'll do our best to keep in touch with you. And then, of course, I will drop this link into the comments as well, but and I actually think that it's already been dropped. Thank you so much. But that's a link to our careers page. That careers page has got information on our hiring timeline, what we look for, the specific jobs that you can apply to. It's got some FAQs on some frequently asked questions that we get. So highly recommend checking that out if you're interested. And that is it for me today. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bella. And this is what the website will look like, the page that Bella was saying. So this is going to be the interns and university page. The link is in the chat. Definitely ask Bella any questions that you have. And we really appreciate your time. Thanks so much, Bella.
Of course, thank you guys.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and move on to PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric with Tom. I'm going to go ahead and add your deck to the stage. And whenever you're ready, Tom, take it away.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for attending this presentation. My name is Tom Manriquez. I am part of the University Relations Program team here at Pacific Gas and Electric. You're going to see the QR code up there in the right-hand screen. I highly, highly encourage everybody to scan on that code for about 30 seconds or so. You don't need to do it right now, but it will pay major dividends, and I'll talk a little bit about why. Because that's how we're going to send you the jobs directly right when they hit our website in real time based on your major and your graduation date. So you don't have to do a thing. We're going to send it right to you. So the next slide, we'll kind of get right into it, talking a little bit about PG&E. And when you think about Pacific Gas and Electric, we are one of the top 5 investor-owned utilities in the United States. When you think of Florida Power and Light, Georgia Power and Light, you think of California Power and Light, PG&E is the California Power and Light. Providing natural gas and electric services to over 16 million Californians. If you think about that geographically, because California has over 44 million people, that roughly breaks down to 1 in 20 people in the US, but just all here in California because of our demographic size. We've got over 70,000 square miles of service territory. That's Eureka, California, all the way down to Bakersfield. This slide's a little dated. We have about 28,000 employees. In addition to those 28,000 internal employees, we have another 15,000 contract employees that do the great work of providing safe, natural gas, electric services to those employees or to those customers. The next slide represents really the demographic, the graphic look of California and our service territory. Where over 70,000 square miles that I've talked about, it's over 141,000 circuit miles of electric distribution line throughout California, 42,000 miles of natural gas distribution line. But it just gives you the magnitude from coast to the Sierras of all of our employees and where your internship or full-time job can land. Some other things about PG&E: we are publicly traded on the stock exchange. We are heavily regulated by the SEC, California Public Utilities Commission, natural board commissions, and energy commissions throughout California on a state and federal and local level. The next slide really represents who we are and a little bit about us, our purpose, our virtues, and our stands. And this is really who we hire in terms of our virtues, right? Being trustworthy, empathetic, curious about the business, tenacious in your work and everything that you do, being nimble and not necessarily doing more with less, but new ideas and innovative ways to create, to solve problems, and thinking about owners of the business. And we're all owners of our craft. You know, we deliver for our hometowns, we serve our planet, and we lead with love. And I'll be honest, this presentation is leading with love. All the employers and everybody that on this call is giving you everything they got. And that is one virtue of what we have here at PG&E with leading with love, with our people, planet, and prosperity. And our stands, when you come, it clicks day X. And what I mean by that is that we're in the life and death business in power. And what I mean by that is hospitals need power or people can't get better. People at home with respirators and wheelchairs, electric, need that basic need. Data centers need power, or Google or Amazon or any one of the employers on this panel. They have their employees and their customers have a real bad day. And so coming here is almost like giving back. It clicks on day X of what you're doing is making a difference. We are going to be carbon neutral here at PG&E with a healthy carbon neutral energy system by 2045. And prosperity, as a publicly traded company, we have investors, and that creates prosperity for not just customers, but our investors as well. We've been in a business for over 100 years, and we look for the next 100 years of innovating of what we're going to do. And you'll see a little bit about that in some of the things that you'll be working on. The next slide is really going to represent some of the things you might not know about an electric company, all the things we're doing that a $20 billion company is currently doing. So if you're thinking of Meta or any employer on the call, we're doing just what anybody else is doing, if not more, for our 16 million customers through our EV charging program, our finance and business strategy. We trade energy on a certain floor of our OGO office headquarters, where we trade energy with other on the market. We do big data and analytics with 16 million customers, as you can imagine. We have one of the largest fixed wing and drone aircraft operation fleets in the country, with 70,000 square miles of service territory. So these are just some of the areas that PG&E is working in. The next slide really represents the battery storage facility, some of the innovation that we're doing. This is our Tesla partnership. We had Elon Musk come to PG&E and speak in a town hall with our CEO, Patty Poppy, and talk about really some of the innovation that we're doing with Tesla. And this large battery storage facility is one of those innovation spots where it allows us to maximize storing energy during high peak times to decrease cost, flatten that duck curve where energy is consumed the most here in California, by distributing that power during peak times. This is one of the largest battery storage facilities in the country. Definitely in California, you'll see more and more of these popping up around the country. This is some of the projects that you would be working on. The next slide really represents a career progression here at PG&E, coming in as a summer intern for those that are returning back to school in the fall. Working on energy-focused projects, really learning and embedding in terms of those projects, lots of networking. And then from intern, we have a strong rotation program. And just in that rotation program is an 18-month program where you rotate within the company after graduation, 2 to 3 different rotations. On the IT and technology and cyber side, it's typically 3 rotations. And then you're doing continuous learning and networking and building, and then moving into an associate career level role. Just to give you some thought here, from summer internship to rotation, we have a 77% conversion rate from summer intern to rotation program. The national average is 52% among companies, based on the National Association of College Employers, NACE. 77% strong is a strong conversion rate. It talks to a total rewards program in terms of your compensation and your benefits, your stock options, your bonuses that you receive. It talks about the people you work with, the projects that you're assigned to, and the level of effort and work that you believe you're doing to make an impact in your career. 97% of the interns surveyed each year at the end of this class, every year cohort, we ask, if offered a position at PG&E, would you accept it? 97% say, yes, I will. From rotation to LOB, it's an 88% conversion rate. And I would say the 12% differential is maybe the energy market wasn't where they wanted to be. I wanted to be in tech. I wanted to be in pharmaceutical. It was never because it was never a great fit in terms of culture or people or the mission. It was, I wanted to do something else. And so we're really proud of those numbers. The next slide is going to really represent kind of our summer internship opportunities. We do expect about 250 to 300 openings here at PG&E for 2026. 84%, 85% on average are STEM related in these opportunities, these lines of businesses like customer care, finance, HR, information technology, power generation, and so forth. It's a 10 to 12 week summer program, traditional in the summer, 40 hours a week. It is paid up to $30 an hour in some cases. If you're a master's student, 35 and PhD and so forth. It is a hybrid environment where it's 1 to 3 days a week in the office. I'll be honest, the IT, computer science, computer engineering you can come in when you want. It's really depending on your team. So I haven't been in an office probably in about a month. and I'm based in our Oakland general office. And it's just really, it's heads down. And I think most companies today try to equate an 8-hour business day. And we're not worried about the person mowing their lawn or at the gym at 2 in the afternoon, because that same person at 2 in the morning could have been writing Java code for like 6 hours. So we look at the business 8-hour business day. And so we're very flexible and agile on our hybrid environment. You do need to be in good academic standing. We do offer relocation assistance for those that are coming out of state for round trip or mileage to a housing allowance. But being in good academic standing is key. You do need to be returning back to school in the fall. If you're graduating, we'll get into that in a little bit. But the internships opportunities start to open in May and June. It begins in May and June, and then it ends typically August, September, depending if you're on the semester or quarter system. We should see summer openings here in the next 2 to 3 weeks that'll start to hit, and that's QR code will come into play. You can also visit us at the website there. I'll drop in a number of links when this is over. Create a talent profile, create a keyword job alert, internship, and stand out that way. Next slide really represents our summer internship experience in terms of programming pillars. When you come here, it's not about just the integrated work. That's one pillar of what you were hired for. You're also going to get professional and career development, a workshop series. You're going to get coaching and mentoring through one of our employee resource groups and engineering resource groups, one-on-one, somebody else to lean in on. You'll also get a pillar on social and networking opportunities, connecting with other interns and employees through engagements and campaigns and programming throughout the summer. And the last pillar, which isn't on here, is a culture pillar, a culture series to talk about what it's like to be an employee at PG&E as an engineer. Because one day at graduation, you're going to say, do I want to work here? And we want that to be yes. So you'll be integrated in our True North strategy, our innovation, where the company's going to be in the next 100 years and where you play a part in that. And so that is kind of our programming pillars. The next slide really represents just some great snapshots of other interns that are in the field, other events at our Diablo Canyon. We do a number of hosting events virtually. So we kind of put a virtual slide in there to make that transparent, just because 70,000 square miles, you can't get everybody together all the time. But some great events that we do throughout PG&E just gives a snapshot. The next slide really represents our recruit once and hire twice. And this is our rotation development programs. To the left, you'll see electric operations, engineering, gas engineering operations, our information technology, our power generation, and other programs that we have for rotation. This is the 77% conversion rate from intern to full-time. And the programs that we have to the right, if you're graduating this May or June of 2026, or even December of 2025, you would be eligible for this program. It's a 12 to 18 month program, depending on which program you choose or qualify for. In some cases, you would be required to get a certification that we'll pay for, like your FE and EIT, or other certificates. The application process is straightforward. You do need to have graduated, go through an application and a competitive process, and be hired for that role. You'll have a dedicated recruiter once you apply and walk you through that process. But this is a great early career training program to really excel in. Next slide. Here's a couple QR codes. To the left would be the QR code for you to scan, sign up, and we'll send you the jobs in real time. And why that is key, PG&E only posts their jobs for 7 to 10 days, and then they are gone. There's a high applicant volume. It's very competitive. We are here today because we only pick 5 to 10 events a year to do. This is one of them. And this is like a priority boarding pass. When you fill that out, you're going to get the job in real time. Once you get it, it starts the clock day one. To the right, I would highly encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn. We've got our dedicated PG&E University programs team. We post events like this as well as where we're going to be on campus and other programming events throughout the year, so you can catch us. So highly encourage you to fill that out. It only takes a couple seconds. Next slide is a thank you slide. There's the QR code in case you missed it. That's my personal cell phone. Anybody can call me night or day. And there's my email should you want to send me a resume and learn more about PG&E and schedule a one-on-one.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Tom. That was excellent information, a lot of really specific information, which is awesome for our audience. If you have any questions for Tom, please feel free to go ahead and add them in the chat. And thanks again, Tom. We'll see you in just a little bit. All righty. If you have any questions for Bella or if you have any questions for Tom, please feel free to go ahead and put them in the comments. We're going to go ahead now and move on towards CrowdStrike, and we are going to bring Melanie up on stage. Hi, Melanie.
Hey, Emily, thank you so much for this.
Definitely. Take it away.
Alrighty. Well, hello, folks. It is good to see some familiar faces in the chat. In case if we haven't met before, hi, my name is Melanie. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm one of the university recruiters here at CrowdStrike. I also did want to give a special shout out to my teammate, Anna Lozano. You may see her pop up in chat to support any of the questions that y'all may have throughout the presentation or afterwards. But with that, heading into the next slide, I know y'all have seen some of the QR codes today. Yes, I have another one for you all. This is just a great way, again, for us to be able to stay in touch, especially as CrowdStrike continues to open up additional internship opportunities throughout the season. And for those of y'all who may have attended a previous NCL event in the past, this is actually a new QR code that we have that will lead you to an event-specific page where if you scan it and you fill out the contact information, when recruiters go in and they see that you applied for a role, they'll also see that you attended this event, which is something that we love to be able to see and stay in touch with folks. And so I promise it's a very quick form to fill out. And this is something that, again, will be a great way to stay in touch throughout the season. I know there might be a link that might be dropped in the chat at some point, but I'll let you all take the time to fill that out throughout the presentation as well. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Ashley, for that. Well, we can head into the next slide here. So we have a little bit of an agenda for y'all today. I'll first start off by sharing a little bit about CrowdStrike and who we are and what we do before we hop into an overview of our summer internship program. And then I'll also close us off with some ways for us to continue to stay in touch after Recruiter Pitch Day. So with that, we'll hop into the next slide to learn a little bit about CrowdStrike's history, as well as our focus here. And so those of y'all who are familiar with CrowdStrike will know we were founded back in 2011, and we were here to solve a main problem, which is that the attacks were becoming more sophisticated, which means they couldn't be solved with outdated malware-based defenses. And so that is where CrowdStrike comes in. A little bit of a fun fact here, and I know I'm skipping a little bit in our focus. Even before we had our main Falcon endpoint protection platform, we actually started out by selling our intelligence reports, which is something that I'm not sure if many students know this. So I want to share this little fun fact with you all because it's definitely a core part of CrowdStrike's focus here in our mission to stop breaches. And so, of course, pairing our expert intelligence with our endpoint protection platform, and then, of course, tacking on our services here, whether that is incident response services, strategic advisory services, managed hunting services. This all pairs together in our mission to be able to support our customers and ultimately, again, to stop breaches. Moving into current day, we are over 10,000 CrowdStrikers strong, and we have over 25 global offices, which is really exciting. I myself sit in our office in the Bay Area in Sunnyvale, which is about an hour south of San Francisco, but we have offices all over the world. And something I like to say in traveling to different events to connect with students like yourself is that pretty much wherever you go, you might run into a CrowdStriker, which is really exciting to hear. So even though we are a global distributed workforce, I still think we have a really great community feel. But with that, hopefully now you'll have a little bit more information about CrowdStrike so we can move ahead and chat about our internship program. And here I have a snazzy little photo of one of the events that we held in a previous summer. Although the majority of our internships are remote, we did have an intern conference this photo is actually from our office at our Arlington open house, not actually at the office, but right next to the office is where we held this. So we'd like to do our best to be able to bring our interns together to be able to have those in-person touch points. But in terms of what that experience looks like, we can hop into the next slide where I can give you some highlights. So majority of our internship opportunities are going to be a 12-week-long experience, although I did want to call out that our sales internship opportunities run on an 8-week-long period. And so that is something to note when you are comparing the different jobs that we may have. And then we also do have a special program for our freshman and sophomore students, which is called our Launch Program. So for any of y'all in the chat here who are a freshman or a sophomore student, this program is for you. And so when you look at CrowdStrike's career page and you see a title with Launch in there, that's for you. This is still a great opportunity to intern with CrowdStrike. You'll still be working on meaningful projects. We just like to include additional professional development and networking opportunities to be able to help our launch interns build their toolkit here. But again, regardless of the length of your internship or what type of program you're on, all of our interns have an opportunity to work on meaningful projects, and they also get to work alongside a mentor, we call them our intern champion, to be able to support them during their internship with CrowdStrike. And work aside, the university recruiting team also has a lot of fun events to be able to have opportunities for our interns to connect with each other and fellow CrowdStrikers, whether that is our executive speaker series, whether that is our career panels. We also have an opportunity for interns to take on more of a leadership opportunity through our lead intern program. And so some of them did get to interview some of our executive leaders. Some of them got to host intern socials, continue the engagement with the over 300 interns that we have over the summer. So there are lots of opportunities to be able to stay connected with CrowdStrike throughout the summer. With that, of course, I also love to highlight some of the perks that we have as part of our intern program. We have paid holidays. We also have a 401k program that our interns can opt into. All our interns get a lot of swag throughout this summer. We like to dress them up in all CrowdStrike gear. Our interns also get 8 hours of volunteer time off. And so, for example, if they wanted to go volunteer at local nonprofit, we have a handful of interns in the past who supported cybersecurity education at a senior center before. So we have lots of volunteer opportunities that our CrowdStrikers host regularly, and so they're also encouraged to connect and tap into those opportunities. And so they can take some volunteer time off to be able to go off and do some good in the community. We also have our Falcon Fit program, which is our well-being initiative. And we also have Modern Health, which is our platform for mind health here. And so we want to make sure that our interns are taken care of this summer so that they are able to really enjoy their time here at CrowdStrike. So I would say this is the internship experience in a nutshell. With our internship experience, we like to do our best to ensure that, again, regardless of where folks may be, that they still feel connected and they are able to continue to grow here at CrowdStrike personally and professionally. So moving into the next slide, I definitely wanted to share a little bit more information about the application and the interview process, so you all have a better idea of what the timeline looks like here. First, it starts off with applying to our positions. On our careers page, you can easily filter based on whether or not the role is an internship opportunity or a full-time role. I will say for the recruiter pitch day section that I'm covering, these will all be specific to the internship experience. I know some of you all may have an interest in full-time opportunities, and so you are more than welcome to go off and explore those. But for the opportunities that I'm sharing, they will all be specific to the internship program. And so that being said, you can find our opportunities on the careers page. You can also find them on other job posting platforms such as Handshake, LinkedIn, wherever you find your jobs. And for those of y'all who are interested in our technical opportunities, majority of them will include a technical assessment in their process. And so, for example, we currently have an opening, which is our Falcon Complete Analyst Intern opportunity, which is essentially a SOC analyst intern position. Our Falcon Complete team is our SOC team. They do a lot of really great work here. And for their process, they have their technical assessment hosted on none other than Cyber Skyline. So I will say, for those of y'all in the NCL community, you definitely have a leg up here. The assessment will look hopefully very familiar and comfortable to you all. For those of y'all who may be interested in software engineering opportunities, for example, your assessment will be hosted on a platform called HackerRank. This will look like your standard LeetCode questions. There will be different sections to be able to cover the fundamentals there. But regardless of the role you're applying for, the recruiter who is there to support you will be able to provide additional guidance on the technical assessment portion, as well as the timeline there. For those of y'all who are interested in other opportunities that don't require technical assessment, we'll just hop straight into the interview process, which will include a recruiter phone screen. This is around 15 or so minute conversation with your recruiter, really just to reconfirm some application details, to learn a little bit more about you and your previous experiences, and of course, for you to ask any questions that you may have about the position. Then after that, most teams will have around 2 interviews. If it's a technical position, you can expect at least one of those interviews to be a technical interview, and the other to most likely lean more on the behavioral side. But from start to finish, I would estimate that the timeline will take around 2 months, give or take some time, because as we know, when we run into the holidays, there may be a few delays around that time period. But again, your recruiter supporting you will be able to provide additional guidance during your application and interview process. So that covers the section here, although I definitely wanted to call out opportunities for us to be able to stay in touch, because that was a lot of information that I threw at you all. And so again, I definitely recommend checking out our careers page to see our open roles, or wherever you may find your job postings. And of course, to join our talent community. And so if you recall the QR code that we had earlier today, this is a great opportunity for us to be able to stay in touch. And lastly, if you do have any questions, you are more than welcome to email the university recruiting team at university.recruiting@crowdstrike.com. It is a real email, and your question will be funneled to the recruiter who will be able to best support you here. So you're welcome to email us at any time. For example, if you have a question that may come up 3 weeks from now, feel free to reach out. We want to be there to support you. But with that being said, I believe that is all I have for you all. So Emily, I will hand the mic back over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Melanie. And absolutely, if you have any questions for Melanie, please go ahead and put them in the chat. Also, her colleague Anna is in the chat, mixing and mingling. But we really appreciate you being here, Melanie. And CrowdStrike has been a supporter of the NCL for many, many years. We're always thrilled to have you join us. And thank you so very much for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely. All right. And so last but certainly not least, I am going to bring Carrie up from Mastercard. Let me go ahead and get your deck on board, Carrie. And when you are ready, Carrie, for the video, I'll go ahead and pause and switch my screen, so that will bring it up. So just know that it will be coming shortly.
Got you. Everybody hear me okay? All right.
Yes,
Well, thank you.
fine.
Thank you so much. As she said, my name is Carrie Spalding. I am the lead technical program manager for cyber talent at Mastercard, specifically over corporate security. So while there is, an HR version of a talent division, I am specifically over cybersecurity and corporate security within Mastercard. So I wanted to start off by giving you just a quick who is Mastercard? So I have a short video. If you want to start playing that, feel free. And then we'll go into a little bit more information.
In many different forms. It can be a nation state government. It could be my next door neighbor. It could be anyone who's trying to use my information for their own use and not for my use, the use that I intended.
So part of my work at Mastercard is helping defend against all of the attacks that come against our network every day. Cybersecurity is important because Mastercard handled over 150 million events last year alone. And it's all of our job to keep the cyber ecosystem and environment safe.
So cyber and Intelligent Solutions is the group that's putting together platforms and solutions to protect the edges of our network and also the core of our network.
My fascination with forensics started when I read the Nancy Drew books and the Hardy Boys books as a kid. And a lot of what I do now is a lot like that.
Well, the future of digital currency is trust. What I do at Mastercard is make sure that our ecosystem is safe and worthy of that trust, that the consumer can have confidence in our networks to make sure that their identity, their transactions, and their funds are safe.
We use machine learning models, we use AI, we use things like blockchain, we use biometrics to make sure that you have a safe payment experience every single time.
We have a global worldwide presence, and that's important because our customers are worldwide.
Having different voices at the table is the best way to make sure that you have a solution that is comprehensive, effective, and sustainable.
Perfect. Okay. If you could flip to the next slide. Okay. So I'm going to throw this out there. Please throw it in the chat for me. What is it that you think Mastercard does? When you think of Mastercard, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to pinpoint most of the answers here, but let's see if we get any variety. So feel free, throw those in the chat. As I'm going to tell you in a little while, we are one of the top brands in the world's 12th most recognizable logo. Not quite sure when that data is from, but that's what they keep telling us. So yeah, credit cards, obviously, that's the big answer, right? So yes and no. There are some different answers coming in, but I will say we are a global, human-centered technology company that happens to be in the payments space. Our vision is a world beyond cash. Our mission is focused every day, everywhere on using our technology and expertise to make payments safe, simple, smart. So we innovate with, as you can see on the screen here, what we call our moral code. And that might be a novel term for some. If we go on to the next slide, I can talk a little bit more about what this means. As I mentioned, that, oh, can you go back one? There you go. Thank you. As I mentioned, that we are apparently the 12th most recognized brand in the world. I don't doubt that at all. I actually bet it's probably a little higher than that. And most people think credit cards, obviously. I mean, you've got us, Visa, American Express, Discover, right? But we don't call ourselves a credit card company at all. I was actually very surprised I joined 2 years ago. So that was some information that I was not aware of. We're a technology company. We just happen to be in the payment space. Our organization is focused on bringing colleagues in from different functions together so that we can work to accomplishing this mission. We have a lot of different data up here on this slide, so I'll just breeze through that really quickly. As you can see, we are a very quickly growing organization, 35,000 plus employees. We work in over a dozen different business units across the globe. We are making a local impact. We have regional headquarters on 6 different continents. Our colleagues work in over 130 office locations and support the growth of our business in over 210 countries and territories. So it's quite expansive. I myself, again, I had no idea when I first started here what I was getting into, and it's been pretty impressive. You can flip to the next slide. So you get a little bit of a better sense of what we do, that we don't consider ourselves to be a credit card company. We consider ourselves to be a tech company in the payment space, but how we do that is even more important than what we do. Trust, partnership, agility, initiative, those are all key characteristics that are encouraged by every employee at Mastercard. But it is the Mastercard way. That is the statement of our culture. That serves as our guide, and that is to act with ownership, empowerment, to simplify everything by doing the work that means it gets uncomplicated, thoughtful risk-taking, and delivering with a sense of urgency. At the foundation of everything we do, a term I want you to remember is what we call the DQ, the decency quotient. Our philosophy of decency is about focusing on doing right by others as we do business both internally and externally. That is what we consider that gives us our competitive edge. Our former CEO and now our executive chairman, AJ Banga, coined that term, the DQ, believing that bringing our DQ to work every day will make the company a fun place to work. People will enjoy it as well as being rewarded for doing the right thing. And sometimes DQ also does mean Dairy Queen, and we have Dairy Queen days. If you can flip to the next slide. So we're always looking for people with new ideas. We're always looking for opportunities to bring in the best and the brightest, the untested even, and the ones that are ready to go and to learn and to mold. You can look for opportunities specifically in the areas that I have up here on the screen. I'm also going to add, and links for these will be going out if they haven't already. We have two distinct programs. So we obviously have interns, but we also have program for recent graduates. That's our version of a launch program. We have internships that are expand across the globe. We have several things. In fact, I pulled it up, and of course now I've hidden it so that I can't see it. But we do have internship programs that are timelines vary, but we have Australia, Ireland, India, and the United States, as well as with this launch program that I mentioned. The launch program at Mastercard is an 18-month development program where those hired as launchers, they are full-time employees, but they are given an opportunity to really gain experience in different areas of the organization. I will also mention 80% of our interns end up joining the launch program, and 93% of the launchers that we have brought into corporate security are currently still employed within corporate security. So it's a good bet. It's a good program. It's something that I will answer questions about in just a moment when I can get back into the chat. But if you want to flip to that next slide, this QR code is going to give you more information about the programs and Mastercard specifically, but I also want to point out that if you're looking for more specific information beyond the operation and the organization at Mastercard, reach out to that email address at Cyber Talent. The email is listed there on the screen. That will get you to me and my colleagues, Katie Boudreau, who was unfortunately not able to be here this year, as well as I want to mention before I go that I don't have a slide for this information, so I'm just going to throw it out there for you. Mastercard offers a hybrid work environment. We do expect people to be in the office 3 days a week, but we also offer a lot of different opportunities for time off, such as 25 PTO days per year, 5 volunteer days, 5 personal days. We offer work from anywhere days. So if you're not able to make it into the office for that 3rd day of the week for whatever reason, you can take a work from anywhere day. We have a great program called Unlocked, where you can find mentors as well as people who are enlisting help on projects. Maybe if you go out there and search for projects or you put your profile out there, they'll find you. And that way we can have a really great environment for collaboration. If I have a problem, I'm actually getting ready to put an Unlocked project out there pretty soon because I am woefully behind and I don't know the Power Apps yet. So I'm learning those and I could use some help with that. So I'm going to put an Unlocked project out there explaining what I need to do. And then somebody will ping me shortly, hopefully, and let me know that they're available to help me out. And the collaboration is it's amazing. The other thing I want to point out, and this really is one of my big areas of expertise, it's one of the things that at Cyber Talent within corporate security that we handle is our tuition assistance program. While I don't run the tuition assistance program, I am the point of contact for corporate security. And so Mastercard offers tuition assistance anywhere from $5,000 to $11,000 per year, depending on what you're looking to do. Certifications, bachelor's, master's programs, PhDs. So there's always an opportunity for growth and upskilling, as well as career mobility options. If you want to flip to the last slide. That is my spiel for today, my pitch for today. I will be checking the chat in just a few minutes so that I can answer any of your questions, but I want to thank you so much for all the time here. It was great to be here on this side of the screen this year instead of behind the scenes answering the questions. Thank you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carrie. And we do have a couple questions in the chat for Carrie. Let's give her some grace since she was the last one to present. Give her some time to go in and answer those questions. But thank you so much for representing Mastercard and being with us.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so now we're going to do a little bit of a transition. So we are going to go ahead, and I have just one question I'm going to ask the recruiters that joined us and the folks that joined us. So we're going to bring everybody back on stage just for a moment. Like I said, let's please give Carrie some grace so she can go ahead and answer some of those questions. But the one question I want to ask before we wrap up is an excellent question, actually, from one of our board members, Costas Taregas. And this is for everybody. Please feel free to answer if you'd like. And the question is, will an applicant get stronger consideration as an NCL player? So is there any influence that we can give from our side of the community to bring really strong candidates to your different roles and opportunities? Would anyone like to answer that?
Yeah, I can start that off, Emily. I would say by being part of the NCL community and being a player here, you definitely have a leg up, especially when it comes to the curriculum you all do. I mean, using CrowdStrike's internship as an example for our technical assessment, since we do lean on Cyber Skyline, it will definitely feel familiar with for a lot of players here. And it's also something that a lot of the teams and hiring managers are also very familiar with. And so when they see folks who come in who are from NCL, whether that's through the mentorship program or perhaps some of the competitions and games that you all have, you list on the resume, that's something that they will definitely be familiar with. So that is CrowdStrike's take here.
Thanks, Melanie.
For PG&E, I think it's the same. I think we're here specifically for your students, the curriculum that is given and offered, and that signing up with that QR code, especially with PG&E, allows us to get you those jobs in that 5 to 7 day period. So I think just to pack on 100%.
Excellent. Thanks, Tom.
I'll add in as well. Same goes for Tanium. I just dropped my LinkedIn in the chat. You've also got a link to stay in touch with us, but we hired an intern from NCL last year at the support center. He received a full-time offer from us as well. So we definitely want to keep that tradition going. So please feel free to reach out. We'd love to consider you.
Terrific. Thank you so much. And I could hear you, Carrie, furiously typing. So thank you for getting to those questions. No, not at all. That's what you're here for. That's wonderful. And thank you. You're doing double duty right now. So much appreciated. All righty. Well, I do have a few quick reminders for the NCL season. Before I do that, though, I want to go ahead and give a gigantic thank you for all the presenters from the amazing organizations that support the NCL season after season. I've had the pleasure of working with these folks, some for years, others a little bit shorter, but everyone has always shown up and shown out for our community. And I could not thank you enough for your time. These are really busy folks doing really wonderful things on a daily basis. So thank you genuinely from the bottom of my heart and really for supporting the NCL community. I will go ahead and bring you off of stage. Please feel free to continue to interact in the last couple minutes with anyone in the chat. But I just wanted to do a really formal thank you once again for your time. And also for everyone who had joined us today. I'm going to go ahead and do a few reminders. So let's go ahead and we'll just clear the decks a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen. Sorry, Anna, I just popped you up. Let me go ahead and remove Melanie. I think two of us are doing the same thing at the same time. We keep removing you and adding you, Melanie. We just love you so much. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen really quickly. And this way I'll be able to share. Of Of course, my mouse got stuck. Here we go, guys. You gotta love technology. So just a couple of season reminders. If you're here joining us for Recruiter Pitch Day, more than likely you have signed up to participate in the NCL fall season. If you haven't, you have until October 14th to register, keeping in mind the 11th through the 14th is going to be where we increase registration fees from 45 to 55. So it will behoove you to go ahead and register as soon as possible. And then the practice game is going to be October 13th to the 19th. The individual game will be October 24th to the 26th. And then we're going to wrap up everything with the team game on November 7th to the 9th. The very last thing I want to share is a reminder that we do have a replay of the NCL 101 event that happened a couple weeks ago. It's everything you need to know about the NCL. It's a great way to learn some tips and tricks from some engineering folks from Cyber Skyline, as well as Franz Payer, that you know from the NCL challenges and from the competition. Feel free to go ahead and find it on the Cyber Skyline YouTube channel or use the QR code. And with that, I want to say once again, genuinely, thank you so very much for everyone joining us, all of the participants and the attendees. Thank you so much for your time. And we're really excited to get you into those roles. And once again, thank you so very much to CrowdStrike, Mastercard, PG&E, and Tanium for being just wonderful sports and for sharing with our community. Thank you again, and we will see you very soon. Take care.